Hey everyone, this is Anurag Ray from PestRemovalWarrior.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about where snakes go in the winter. And before we continue this video, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click the notification bell so that I can receive updates about my video and also help my channel grow. Now snakes are cold-blooded creatures. They have to raise their heat, they have to absorb the heat from external objects, from external places because their body can't generate their own heat. For that very reason, they have to go in warmer places when there is cold outside. Let's say if there is snowing outside, the temperature is below 0 degrees centigrade, then the snake has to go to a place which is much warmer than the overall surface temperature. Now, normally those kind of places can only be found underground or in places that has a very, like for example, inside an old tree or inside an old house. In a basement, all these kind of places can be a good hiding spot for a snake. However, they cannot survive just by living on the ground because the ground temperature, the overall temperature of that place decreases to a very great extent. Now, for example, there are also few differences over here. And before I continue the main part of this video, I will add few things to this video. That is, there are different kind of snakes who lives in different part of the world. And if, for example, if a snake that lives in a warmer climate are brought to a place which has cold climate and the snakes never faced a temperature that has gone below 0 degrees centigrade, then the chances are the snake is going to die in that place because it have never faced that kind of temperature. Adapting to that temperature is going to take a lot amount of time. Eventually, over a period of time, the snake may be able to survive it, but for initially the snake can die. So if you are willing to bring a snake from outside country, from a warmer country as a pet, then make sure to provide the snake with proper temperature because you need to replicate the temperature of that warmer places, warmer regions in order for the snake to survive. Now, let's continue this video's main part that the snake usually like to hide around those kind of places where the temperature will be much warmer compared to the surface, because if the temperature is not warmer to the surface, it will be not worthwhile and their body temperature will continue to shrink. As a result, the snake will die. Obviously, no animals wants to die, no reptiles wants to die, so they need a proper place. Now, the thing about this is there can be limited spots in the wild, and snake need to find those kind of spots properly before the winter actually hits. So, there can be many snakes living in that particular spot. They don't attack each other during this time, and their overall bodily functions reduces to a great extent. The digestion process also reduces to a great extent because they won't be hunting during the winter season. They will be actually hibernating. Now, since they will be hibernating, their body temperature will gradually increase. They will only absorb the energy that is required for the survival. Apart from that, they won't even absorb, their body won't even consume any energy. So that's why the snake can survive for long amount of time living with this kind of method, because the snake's body won't require any external energy to keep their body going. And they usually have a big meal before this hibernation. They like to consume a big meal before this hibernation. And once they do that, they rest throughout the winter season. And then after the winter season, they comes out once again and then they start hunting and capturing different kind of prey. Immediately after they come out, their bodily functions which hasn't yet reached its peak, it can become quite problematic for the snakes to hunt initially because they haven't reached a peak function. So, but once the snakes come out of hibernation, it becomes the immediate effort to hunt because they need to get the energy now to keep on living, because that place is no longer going to be a place, and the snakes over there can also start competing against each other. So snakes' hunger also strikes, their body functions actually resumes once this temperature comes back to normal. So they need to hunt immediately after they actually come out of the hibernation. Now, there are many animals, many predators that actually hunt snakes. So, if a predator actually end up finding a snake, finding a place where the snakes are hiding during this hibernation, then it can become easy prey because snakes won't be able to retaliate because they won't be prepared. They will be in a hibernating state where the bodily functions actually reduces to a great extent. The overall reflex also reduces to a great extent, and they are not really in the mood to fight. Their aggression also reduces. So, if a predator captures them off guard, it can become easy prey. There are many predators who can do that, but normally snakes are one of the apex predators in the wild, and there are very less predators who actually hunt snake. There are some, but there are not many that actually does so. So, snakes are somewhat safe when they are doing hibernating. Now, there are cold-blooded other reptiles also like lizards who also hibernates. Because it's an important function for them to actually maintain their body temperature. Without actually maintaining a body temperature, they won't be able to survive for long. Now, it also occurs that a snake may not be able to find a proper spot and it can die. Although the chances are really less, but it can occur, especially if the surroundings is not known to the snake. That this can occur much often than you think. If a new snake is brought to a new surroundings, then of course it can happen that the new snake won't be able to survive the environment because they doesn't know the environment that well. And if the winters comes off too early, then it will become very difficult for the snake to finding a hiding spot where they can spend their entire winter. Now, during this winter season, also it is possible that the snakes can enter human territory for hiding, for hibernating, especially around human in a house basement or in a place that is not used by human that often, because as I mentioned before, the house and all these kind of places are much warmer compared to the outside when the cold hits the regions. So it's better to hide in a house, although the risk can be substantial that a human can interfere over there, but they usually looks around and find that which place is not often used by humans and rest over there. Now, if by any chance you end up going to that snake and don't realize the snake is hiding over there, the snake can actually bite you also, because they can do it for self-defense. Although they may not be that active, they will try to avoid the fight, but if they get off guard, if they feel threatened in any way, then they can attack without even you realizing what's going to happen. So this can be a big problem, and it's usually snakes can hide around all those places only where the wood is not usually used. So if you have those kind of places, make sure to check it during winter season if there is any snake or not, because the snakes will try to enter the basement or those kind of places before the winter hits, because that's when they're trying to hibernate. They won't do any movement when the winter season actually hits, but they can be resting over there, find an exact spot for where they're going to hide, and there can be multiple snakes hiding in that spot also. So it is possible that multiple snakes can actually enter the basement and can hide over there. So it is quite important to actually find this spot before the winter hits and see if there is any kind of snakes over there. If you can find them, definitely get rid of them from your house, because once the summer season actually gets over, they will try to move away from that place immediately once this is over. However, if they cannot move it, they will get stuck over there, and if you don't realize it, the snakes can end up biting someone. So it's better to actually get rid of them before the winter hits, so that they can find another spot and can live over there, but not inside your basement. So that's it for this video. If you really like this video, don't forget to click on the like, comment and subscribe button. I'm uploading 2 videos every single week, that is on Monday and Friday. So don't forget to click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you can receive updates about my video.